Yeeps 2.0 is coming in less than 20 days, and we basically have gotten zero information so far. If you don't know, Yeeps 2.0 is the next Yeeps update. It's July's update. Right now, we're heading into 1.31. If you don't know, Yeeps 2.0 is also to celebrate a 1-year anniversary since Yeeps got into the actual MetaQuest store. So this video is going to be split into two parts. One being what we actually know and what is a fact about Yeeps 2.0, and the second half is what I purely think Yeeps 2.0 is and other theories. Where I get all my leaks from is a server called VR Leaks. Unfortunately, Chill Flops, the owner of it, he will not be leaking Yeeps 2.0 if he finds something in the file to keep the anticipation of Yeeps 2.0, which I totally respect, but still. What we did see there, lab rats and star creators will not know anything about this. Nobody will know this besides from Trash Games itself, purely being tested by Trash Games, and lab rats are not going to be needed for this one. So in the Yeeps live, we got the big reveal of Yeeps 2.0, right? And we got this image. My good friend Mr. Bird edited the photo a bit, and you got this in return, which is a little bit weird because it heavily looks like Minecraft. People were speculating it being an open world version of Yeeps. For me, that just looks like the background photo of whatever biome. And part of Yeeps 1.31, which is dropping this Thursday, I'm pretty sure, they are adding OG maps, just old map that got removed, and basically it's like a weekly rotation thing. Part of the weekly rotation thing, Nathan said in the announcements, each map will have a hint toward Yeeps 2.0. I'm really excited for that. Don't know what we're gonna see, but still pretty cool. Alright, that's literally all we know about Yeeps 2.0. Let's now move on to the theories, right? One thing that I've been seeing, and that this is gonna be just an add-on, right? And they're not wrong. People usually associate 2.0 or the number 2 to a sequel game. So I've seen a lot of people say, oh, it's gonna be another game on the MetaQuest store, which, by the way, it's not. If you just come on the board, you can literally see the version that we're on right now. What it means by Yeeps 2.0 is this number 1 being switched to a 2. I've also been seeing people say, oh, they're gonna add the desert biome, which, as a desert biome fan myself, I highly doubt that they're not gonna do that. I don't really have necessarily a reason why, but it is way too soon for a new biome. It's more of a rework than an update. But they are still adding new stuff and stuff like that. Also said in this announcement yesterday that they will be adding new blocks and gadgets. So what I'm thinking is just editing small little features in Yeeps that will make it 10 times better. Maybe a way to quick travel between maps instead of having to travel through 13 maps just to get to I don't know, outpost. Just small things like that though would just be insanely useful. Maybe some like aesthetic features like blinking eyes, I don't know, stuff like that. I asked Sewage and Loaf what they think is going to be added to Yeeps. Here's Loaf's message. So he basically said changing items or gadgets, and I'm pretty sure he meant updating the models, which I could get behind that, and new maps, which also can get behind. But he also mentioned that they're going to be adding the desert biome, which I highly doubt. Don't really have a reason why, besides from it is too early and wouldn't really make sense. Sewage just thought they're going to be adding more creative blocks that would help us in like a day-to-day basis. This is what also relates to what I said. They're just going to be adding small things that would help us in a way. An example he put would be zone copiers and chainsaw, which I gotta say was really useful. And what him and Loaf suggested was a paint roller, much like the one in Splatoon, which that would be really useful. And let me know down below what you think is going to be added to Yeeps 2.0.